No matter how you position this in space, you are going to have problems. There are points sticking out everywhere, every direction. You're going to need a forest of vents. But what if I told you this isn't a molding problem, this is a casting problem? The mold is going to be super simple. No sprues, no vents, just an open bottom. So the first thing to do is to put a platform on the bottom so there's rubber underneath those feet. Then it's good old sticky wax and blue sprue wax to the rescue. Put a big goober of sticky wax on the bottom so it'll stick to the cup good. And it's ready to go. Mixed and de-aired a batch of rubber, and here I am pouring it from the bottom, pushing out the air. This rubber sat overnight and it's nice and cured. Let's see what we got. I don't really love these brittle cups. They're nice and clear, so they're great for the videos, but man, these edges are sharp, and you gotta be careful not to cut yourself. I always like to trim off the bottom edge of the rubber. It's not strictly necessary, but it makes the mold nice and purty. The first thing to do is pull the plug out of the bottom. It's in the way, so we'll just pop it out of there. I located the back of the model because that's where I want to put the parting line. You never want to put your parting line through any details like a face or any other high detail areas of the model because it's so hard to clean it up there. By putting the parting line on an insignificant part or a hidden part of the model, it saves you a lot of cleanup. Also, by putting the parting line in a flat area, you can sand it smooth really quick and easy. Always try to cut as smooth and clean a line at the model as you can, but remember to cut jagged away from the model. That way the two halves of the parting line will interlock, and by interlocking, they close up super tight and become almost invisible. This mold is small enough and simple enough to only require a single rubber band to hold it closed. Trouble is that these bands are a little bit too big for this mold, and they just don't fit. Rather than try to find rubber bands that fit molds, I learned a long time ago to simply tie a knot into the rubber band, make it the correct size so that it fits the mold perfectly and holds it closed without any distortion. We need to lay the mold down after we make the pour. That's the whole secret to this method of casting. The simple way is to make the cradle out of blobs of clay. If I were going to pour a lot of these castings, I'd build a more permanent cradle out of wood. But for our purposes today, the clay is going to work perfectly. I mixed up some urethane resin. It's a 2-part A and B system, and I added some dye to it to make the casting a nice color. This is the first of 3 pours. With each successive pour, we're going to orient the mold in a different position, and that way we'll fill up all of the points which are pointing in different directions. Okay, so the first pour is cured. You see those notches on each side of the mold? They tell me where to position the mold for each successive pour. Here I'm mixing the second pour, and after I pour it, I'll orient the mold to the position of the second notch. Each of the pours goes into the pressure pot, so that means a total of 3 trips to the pot for this casting. Pours 1 and 2 are in and cured. Now it's time to just top off the mold with resin and finish the casting. The witness cup says it's ready to go. So let's Yankee from the tanky and see what we got. All right, this is the fun part. What do you guys think? Did we win or did we lose? We'll know soon enough. See what we got. All right, looking pretty clean. Oh, caught 2 little bubbles right there. Well, they're in an inconspicuous spot and will be easy to fill and clean. Still, I should be able to get those out in subsequent castings. The parting line on the back is nice and light. Very, very easy to sand out and clean. Happy with that. Overall, I'd say this casting is looking really pretty good. Just need to nick the base off with the bandsaw and give it a final cleanup on the sander, and we are done and done. I'm really pleased with the way this casting came out. Super simple mold, no sprues, no vents, just an open pour. Filling a mold in multiple pours in different positions is a great technique to add to your bag of tricks. Check your resin to make sure it sticks to itself when it cures, and if it does, you are good to go. Hey, I hope you got something out of this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, watch this video next. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.